Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the AEW Dynamite review. And Dynamite was calling the show tonight, Winter is Coming. But Dynamite tonight, it was a fantastic show. It was a perfect show, and it felt like we were watching a pay-per-view on a Wednesday night. This show was just that good tonight. And, in my opinion, it was one of the best Dynamites of the year. And tonight we had a Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal where the final two who were in the Battle Royal will get to face each other next week on Dynamite. And the winner will get the AEW Diamond Ring. We also had a surprise debut, which I will get to. But you all probably know in the title down below. So you all know already. But we also saw Jericho versus Frankie Kazarian. The first time these guys have competed. And we also saw Britt Baker versus Leyla Hirsch. Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin versus Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. And in the main event, which this show was built around, it was hyped up. We had the contract sign-in. And that was Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley, where the AEW World Championship was on the line. But overall, Dynamite was a fantastic show tonight. Just an amazing show. And I like how the way that Dynamite opened tonight, where, as soon as we went into the Daily's place, the lights were blue, giving it a, winter, set in, because, of course, the show was called Winter is Coming. So just like the blue lights that, were used. So Dynamite Winter is Coming kicked off with the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. The Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. And like I said, the final two who were in this Battle Royal will get to face each other next week. And the winner gets the AEW Diamond Ring. And this Battle Royal was fun, in my opinion. We saw like Shawn Spears in there, Scorpio Sky, MJF, Wardlow, and Sammy Guevara was in there. Miro, Kip Sabian, you have Mark Gwen. You had all these guys. Matt Hardy was in there, Jungle Boy. But, it was a fun Battle Royal. Before the match got underway, MJF ended up cutting a promo. MJF ended up saying that he will be elated if either Sammy Guevara or Wardlow is next to him after the Battle Royal. I'm saying, because it's not his ring. It's the Inner Circle's ring. And MJF, Wardlow, and Sammy Guevara didn't get in the ring first. We had Hangman and Page in there, where Page ended up eliminating Serpentico because he got the assistance from John Silver and Alex Reynolds. So I'm still thinking Alex Riley from 10 years ago. But Page eliminated Serpentico. He got the assistance from John Silver and Alex Reynolds. And we had Luther got eliminated by the Dark Order members. Shawn Spears ended up eliminating Matt Sydal. Tully Blanchard was in the crowd, we saw. And the final two in this match were MJF and Wardlow. Orange Cassidy was in there, but Orange Cassidy did not get eliminated. So we all thought it was MJF and Wardlow going at it. But Orange Cassidy didn't get eliminated. He was still knocked out on the floor. and it was MJF, Wardlow, and Orange Cassidy. Cassidy ended up shoving Wardlow, which nearly knocked MJF out of the ring. Orange Cassidy then delivered the Orange Punch to MJF, and then delivered one to Wardlow. Cassidy then eliminated Wardlow. There you go. MJF and Orange Cassidy were the final two in this Battle Royal. So now next week, they will face each other, and the winner will get the AEW Diamond Ring. So there you go. MJF and Orange Cassidy will be meeting next week. But overall, it was a very fun Battle Royal. Post-match, you had the best friends, Chucky T and Trent, end up coming out to celebrate with Orange Cassidy. Miro then ended up heading back out to the ring, and he wasn't happy. And he was taking out Orange Cassidy and the best friends. So Miro and Kip Sabian were complaining to the best friends because Miro earlier in the Battle Royal ended up taking out a few guys. Miro ended up eliminating Lee Johnson. Miro then eliminated Matt Hardy and Mark Quinn. And then Joey Janela ended up clotheslining Miro. So that eliminated Miro out of the Battle Royal. So that's why Miro ended up coming back in, ended up taking out Orange Cassidy and the best friends. So that was that. But overall, like I said, it was a fun Battle Royal. Wasn't great or perfect by any means, though, but it was fun. And then we had Jericho versus Frankie Kazarian. First time that these two meet in the ring. Jericho came out along with Jake Hager and Ortiz. But this was a good match here. We got Frankie Kazarian starting off. He kept Jericho down. He was looking to go for an early pin to Jericho, which he did. Jericho ended up kicking out at 2. And we saw Jericho then delivered a chop to Kazarian and then a drop kick. Hager ended up trying to take out Kazarian, but he ended up missing 2 times. So Jericho ended up delivering a blow to Frankie Kazarian, which ended up dropping him over the top rope, shoved him down to the floor. And Jericho delivered a suplex. And Frankie Kazarian ended up coming back, ended up hitting a leg drop to Jericho. And the crowd here, you could tell that they were behind Jericho in this match. So there was a point where Ortiz was up on the ring apron, and he was threatening to hit Frankie Kazarian over the head. Jericho ended up telling Ortiz to back up. So MJF ended up running out, and MJF had a white towel in his hand, and MJF was looking to throw in the towel, and he was looking to throw in the towel for Jericho. So Sammy Guevara ended up running out. Guevara ended up taking away the towel from MJF. So Jericho ended up seeing Sammy Guevara with the towel. So Frank Kazarian ended up trying to go for roll-ups, which he did, which Jericho ended up kicking out of them. So Jericho comes back and hits the Judas effect to Frankie Kazarian, goes for the pin. There you go. Jericho ended up winning the match. Post-match, Guevara and MJF started shoving each other. Jericho ended up getting on the mic, and he ended up telling them to stop it. Jericho ended up saying that this isn't what they planned or talked about. So Jericho ends up telling them that they have 7 days to either decide to work together as a team or the Inner Circle breaks up forever. So with the looks of it is MJF is trying to do what he can to break up the Inner Circle. We're seeing it. Sammy Guevara doesn't like MJF being in the Inner Circle. You saw right here that they're having problems. And who knows, if the Inner Circle breaks up, this is a setup for Sammy Guevara, becoming a babyface. That's one point that I see happening, because there was talks about them turning Sammy Guevara babyface. If the Inner Circle breaks up. So, but I think maybe the Inner Circle is going to be breaking up because Jericho, I think, he has stuff doing with Fozzy. That could be happening. Jericho could be going away for a while, and once he comes back, we could see Jericho as a babyface. We could see Jericho as a big babyface once he returns. So my prediction, the Inner Circle is going to be breaking up. I may be wrong on that, but that's my prediction. So I definitely sense the Inner Circle is going to be breaking up. And it'll be thanks to MJF. So that's my prediction. And then we had Alex Marvez. He was interviewing the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick, about their match, because the Bucks are going to be taking on the Hybrid 2, Jack Evans and Angelico next week. Matt Jackson ended up saying that they're going to be fighting champions. So if the Hybrid 2 can beat them next week, they will receive a shot at the World Tag Team Championships. And then we see the Acclaimed show up. The Acclaimed, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. They end up showing up, and they're making fun of the Bucks' book, making fun of their covers. So they're just rapping about it. Matt Jackson ended up wondering if this rapping gimmick has been done before. So the Acclaimed then tell the Young Bucks that maybe they should turn around. And we saw the Hybrid 2, Jack Evans and Angelico, attack the Bucks, and Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian end up showing up to chase them off. So that was that. So there you go. Next week on Dynamite, we're going to be seeing the Young Bucks versus Jack Evans and Angelico, the Hybrid 2. So if the Hybrid 2 ends up being the Bucks next week, the Hybrid 2 will receive a title shot. Will receive a World Tag Team Championship, shot. So then backstage, we saw Britt Baker. Britt Baker was talking about how Thunder Rosa doesn't belong in AEW, and how she is the face of the division. Britt Baker says that she is the face of the AEW Women's Division, and she also says she has to keep things clean. So there you go, little backstage thing with Britt Baker, which Britt Baker then ended up taking on Leyla Hirsch. Of course, Britt Baker came out along with Reba. And the match itself, this match wasn't that good, in my opinion. We saw Leyla Hirsch end up getting the best of Britt Baker. She ended up doing a side headlock on Britt Baker. And Britt Baker tried to fight Hirsch off. She ends up pinning a thrust kick to Hirsch and a DDT. So Hirsch, Leyla Hirsch, I heard that she's been on AEW Dark, but I don't watch AEW Dark. But from what I've seen here, this is the first time I've seen Leyla Hirsch in the ring. I gotta say, she's pretty good. She's pretty good here. So we'll like to see future matches with her on Dynamite. Like I said, I don't watch AEW Dark. I know that's where she has matches on. So, but we'll like to see her again on Dynamite because she was pretty good in this match here with Britt Baker. Even though the match wasn't that great, wasn't that good of a match though. But at the end, we had Britt Baker winning the match, where she ended up doing a neck breaker to Hirsch, and then the lockjaw. Hirsch tapped out, so Britt Baker ended up winning. Post-match, you had Thunder Rosa running out from the crowd. Thunder Rosa then starts beating down on Britt Baker, and Britt Baker was throwing punches at Thunder Rosa. They were both throwing punches. Referees end up getting into the ring to separate them. Reba comes in. Reba then ends up getting a cheap shot to Thunder Rosa. And then Hirsch ends up taking Reba and delivers a German suplex. So that was that. So overall, Britt Baker versus Leyla Hirsch. Match wasn't that good, but Leyla Hirsch, she was pretty good here. We'll like to see more of her on Dynamite. And then we had Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes versus Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs of Team Taz. So of course Cody ended up coming out along with Arn Anderson, and this was a very good match here. We had Darby Allin end up hitting a coffin drop on Ricky Starks. Cody and Darby Allin end up dominating on Ricky Starks. Darby Allin ended up hitting a low drop kick to Starks. There was a point in the match where Darby Allin and Hobbs were on the outside, and Hobbs ended up delivering a clothesline to Darby Allin, which looked brutal. And then Hobbs ended up throwing Darby Allin hard into the barricade, which looked crazy, which Darby Allin went back first into the barricade. Just the power that Hobbs threw Darby Allin into the barricade was crazy. So you had Starks end up tagging in Hobbs. Hobbs then delivered a suplex to Darby Allin. He did a few push-ups. He flips off Cody. Hobbs continued to work over Darby Allin, delivered a backbreaker. He tagged in Ricky Starks. And there was a point where Hobbs was taunting Cody. Hobbs was shown delivering a bear hug to Darby Allin, which he was ragdolling Darby Allin in that bear hug. And at the end of the match, Cody ended up hitting the Cody cutter to Ricky Starks. He then did a splash to the outside on Hobbs. Darby Allin then tagged himself in, and he delivered the coffin drop to Ricky Starks, went for the cover. So there you go. Cody and Darby Allin end up winning the match. Post-match, you had Hobbs getting back into the ring, end up taking down Darby Allin. Arn Anderson then got into the ring. Arn Anderson was shown swinging away on Hobbs. He ended up dropping Starks with a punch. Arn Anderson ended up punching Ricky Starks. Starks then ended up beating up Arn Anderson. Dustin Rhodes ended up coming out for the save. Dustin Rhodes ended up delivering a bulldog to Hobbs and a spin power slam to Ricky Starks. Brian Cage then ran out, ended up dropping Dustin, and Hobbs has the FTW Championship, and Hobbs was going to hit Dustin Rhodes with the FTW Championship. So then the lights go out, and this was one of the best moments of this show. And this was the surprise debut. So we had music playing, just trees and, snow shown. It was a video of that. And then we see the words Sting on the screen. So Sting makes his AEW debut on Dynamite. He ended up walking out. Tony Schiavone on commentary was going crazy. The fans were going crazy. And Sting making his debut on Dynamite tonight was like a big fuck you to Vince McMahon because of how WWE wasted Sting. Yeah, we all remember he only had 2 matches in WWE. We all remember that match that he had with Triple H at WrestleMania 31. But this was a big fuck you to Vince. And now Vince is not going to be getting his Sting versus Undertaker match that fans wanted to see, but they should have did that match a few years ago. So any purpose of seeing that match now is not going to happen. So Sting was walking out, and I like how the way that when he walked out, you saw like the little bits of like snow just falling down, and his music fit him really well. The music fit really well for Sting here. So Sting got in the ring. Team Taz ended up getting out of the ring. Sting ended up walking up to Arn Anderson. He ended up looking at him for a moment. So he ended up going over to Dustin. Looked at Dustin. He then went over to Cody. Sting ends up making his way to Darby Allin. And Sting ended up getting right in Darby Allin's face, and they were just staring at each other face to face. Sting then walked up the ramp, and he did his famous "woo" to the whole crowd, and then he made his way back to the back. But this was an awesome moment, an awesome debut for Sting, and Sting has signed a multi-year deal with AEW. Who knows if he's going to be competing in the ring. He's actually going to be on next week's Dynamite. He's actually going to be doing a interview. So we're gonna hear Sting speak next week. So that's gonna be cool. But this whole debut for Sting was amazing. So, and AEW is going to treat him really well, in my opinion. So yeah, multi-year deal Sting has with AEW. It's awesome. But they announced on commentary that next week, of course, is going to be MJF versus Orange Cassidy, where the winner receives the AEW Diamond Ring. The Young Bucks versus the Hybrid 2 in a non-title match. We're going to be seeing Dustin Rhodes versus 10 of the Dark Order. FTR versus Varsity Blondes, Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. Abaddon is going to be in action next week, which is awesome. And then we're going to be seeing Lance Archer and the Lucha Brothers versus Eddie Kingston, the Butcher and the Blade. So that's something to look forward to next week. So then we went backstage and we saw Alex Marvez. Alex Marvez was talking with Hikaru Shida, the AEW Women's World Champion, about Abaddon. confronting her last week. Alex Marvez asked Shida about why she didn't want to engage. Hikaru Shida ended up telling Marvez that she's not afraid. And she ended up saying that Abaddon is just doing zombie cosplay. So then we heard a loud clang, which ended up freaking out Hikaru Shida. She ended up asking if she can start over with the interview, and Alex Marvez was like, no, this is live. You can't start over. So Hikaru Shida was shown, a little rattled, and ended up saying that she has to go. So that was that. But like I said, Abaddon is coming for the AEW Women's World Championship. Will not be surprised if she ends up defeating Hikaru Shida. And then we had Jon Moxley cut in a promo that was done earlier in the day. Moxley ended up saying that today felt like a holiday, where people showed up early and dressed up more in suits. He ended up saying that there's a little something extra in the air. He ended up saying that 2 years ago, this was just an idea. He ended up saying that most people thought he was burned out and done with. And then he ended up saying that he then slapped the wrestling industry in the face. He says he and Omega are the two best wrestlers in the world, and the stakes couldn't be higher. So he ended up saying that there is only one thing left to do and make everyone go absolutely bananas. So that's what Moxley had to say. And then we got the main event. Moxley versus Kenny Omega, where the AEW World Championship was on the line. The hype for this was good, where you had the contract signing and, somebody attacking Moxley 2 weeks ago. So we had Moxley and Omega face off in the middle of the ring. They were drawing a bit, and this was a very good match here. And, they had their unsanctioned lights out match last year at Full Gear, which in my opinion was one of the best matches in AEW at that pay-per-view, which that whole match was just amazing. It was bloody and crazy. Just go check out their match at last year's Full Gear. So, and there was talks about this match being overrun, going like over 10 o'clock, which that didn't happen. So, but Moxley was looking to go for a choke to Omega, but Omega ended up getting to the ropes. Omega ended up looking to go for a choke of his own on Moxley, but got tripped. Moxley was working on Omega's neck, and Kenny backed him into the corner. Omega then was shown unloading with punches and chops to Moxley. Moxley then delivered the clothesline, but Omega ended up hitting her Hurricanrana, which sent Moxley out to the floor. And we had Don Callis on commentary calling the match of course, Impact. Impact Wrestling he's part of. So then Omega was looking to fly out of the ring, but Moxley ended up getting into the ring and dropped Omega with a spinning slam. Moxley then sent Omega out to the floor, which then Moxley ended up delivering a suplex out on the floor to Omega. Then we saw them going back and forth. They end up on the floor again. Omega ended up jamming Moxley's knee into the barricade and then threw him back to the ring. Omega then delivered a slingshot drop kick to Moxley's knee. And there was a point where we had Omega end up taking the mic, where Don Callis ended up getting the referee's attention. Moxley shoved Callis down to the ramp, which, like I said, Callis ended up getting the referee's attention, and Kenny Omega ends up having the mic. So Moxley turns around. Kenny Omega then ends up hitting Moxley in the head with the mic. So Moxley was shown busted open. Kenny Omega ended up pulling down one of his knee pads. And then he delivered V-triggers to Moxley's face. And then delivered another one to the back of Moxley's head. And then another one. And then Omega then was able to hit the one-winged angel on Moxley. He went for the cover. So there you go. Kenny Omega wins the match, and he is your new AEW World Champion. So there you go. Post-match, we had Callis end up getting into the ring. He hands the AEW World Championship to Omega. Omega and Callis end up making their way to the back. And Tony Khan was shown. He was yelling something at Omega and Callis. And they were just running out of the Daily's place. And we saw like the roster wasn't happy with what happened. Omega and Callis were shown running out of the Daily's place and into a vehicle. Alex Marvez then tried to cut Omega and Callis off. And Marvez was like, what's the deal? Callis ended up telling Marvez that they will hear all about it on Tuesday. And Marvez ended up saying to Callis, oh, Dynamite is on Wednesdays. It's not on Tuesdays. But Callis ended up saying that he and Kenny Omega will tell everyone about it on Impact this Tuesday. So there you go. That was how Dynamite ended. But with this whole thing, with Callis mentioning Impact, could this be a merger between AEW and Impact? Of course, they had, NWA being done, when Serena Deeb is the NWA Women's World Champion, which she ended up appearing on AEW, and then Thunder Rosa, when she was the NWA Women's World Champion, she made, an appearance on Dynamite. So could this be with this whole Callis? So sorry about that, but I was saying, could this whole thing be with Callis, when Kenny Omega appearing on Impact? This looks like maybe it could be a merger or a crossover between AEW and Impact. Maybe they're setting this up for a somewhat possible invasion angle. Think about that. But that was Dynamite tonight. But overall, this was a fantastic show. It was amazing. And like I said, it felt like we were watching a pay-per-view on a Wednesday night. But yeah, that's it for the Dynamite review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. And on the sad note today in the wrestling world, today we lost Pat Patterson. He passed away from cancer. He was 79. He was the Intercontinental Champion. He became the first Intercontinental Champion. And of course, he was the one who created the Royal Rumble. He was the creation of the Royal Rumble match. So, and he was also featured in the Attitude Era, along with Vince McMahon and Gerald Briscoe. They were known as the Stooges. So, but very sad that Pat Patterson passed away today. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family. And I even met Pat Patterson. He was a very nice guy. Was trying to get like a picture with him, but my camera wasn't working at that time, so I didn't have a shot to take a picture with Pat Patterson. But I did actually meet him though. But he was a very nice guy. So, but like I said, thoughts and prayers go out to his family. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and check out my previous video that I uploaded earlier where I did the t-shirt unboxing of the New York Comic Con. You know, I wasn't there 2020 shirt. So check that out if you guys haven't seen it. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and there will be another unboxing video coming tomorrow. So it's a Blu-ray unboxing, and it's a documentary that it's a Blu-ray documentary that I've been wanting to check out. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. So anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow with the unboxing video.